triggering factor for this round of protests is Abiy Ahmed's decision to disarm the Amhara Special Forces. This is a force that was established by the regional council and is mandated to protect Amharas and Amhara region from violence, from attacks from others, including insurgents within the region or outside the region. We believe, Abiy and TPLF are building, good an alliance against the Amharas, and that alliance is based on a promise Abiy made to TPLF to return Walqait and Raya. Walqait and Raya are areas that have been historically Amhara lands, but have been annexed by TPLF when they came to power in early 1990s. Since then, Amharas have been really fighting to for a recognition that those people who live in those areas are Amharas. We have been focused on documenting atrocities against Amharas and telling the story about that. And we've done, we constantly issue reports that contain victims' names, perpetrators, and how these massacres were committed. And we've been doing that for the past 2 years. But in terms of what people back home are trying to do in terms of resisting or pushing back against this violence against Amharas, many of them actually over the last 2 years have joined the Amhara Special Force. The Amharas are always pushing for democratic governance in that country, fair representation of all ethnic groups, and ultimately removing this kind of ethnic federalism system that's pitting different ethnic groups against each other, and replace it with a system that promotes, national identity, but also ensure that we all have different multifaceted identities and all identities are respected and promoted. But in relation to the war itself, Amharas have the first demand of Amharas is there should be accountability for the crimes committed by TPLF and other forces during and before the war. That is, accountability is the key demand. Turning a blind eye to that process, to that demand from Amharas, and what we are witnessing now is realization that that process was flawed. It was not inclusive. It didn't address key concerns of large communities such as Amharas. The Amharas are the largest community affected by the northern Ethiopia war, and yet they were excluded from that process. So what we are witnessing now is the failure of that process to be inclusive and to be really, responding to the key demands from the affected communities.